There it is. His toe wanted to tap, but he fought the urge, glanced at his watch instead. 7:58 in the p.m. Almost there. He had worked here for years, noticed it only subliminally at first, the kind of pattern the human brain catches a bit at a time. Part of him wanted to count the seconds down, but that would have been cheating. When the air conditioning shut off at 8 o'clock exactly, a sudden absence of sound that had measured the whole of his day, he smiled. Silly, he knew, but if 80% of his waking life was going to be spent sitting in a gray corporate office, which, by the way, he didn't remember voting on, thanks very much, he'd seize his little triumphs where he could. He arrived most days before 6, in time to hear the fans turn on, and worked the same day over and over in a blur of predatory action, the headset so much a part of his body that he sometimes forgot to take it off when he stood up from his desk, got jerked back by the cord. Maneuver after maneuver, each the one that might get him out from under, might return him to wonderkind status, the guy who had cracked Hudson Pollum Biolabs and made a quick $500,000 instead of the also-ran everyone was starting to suspect he might be. Lunch at his desk, stolen in bites. A bathroom break mid-morning and mid-afternoon, 2 quick white blurs to keep his energy kicking. Staying after the phones went quiet to read the blogs, make his plans for tomorrow, and try, in an amiable, distracted way, to figure out how to make up what he had lost. And finally, the retreat here, to his porcelain palace, to blow a good-night kiss to work and start the evening properly. He pinched his nostrils, then rattled the toilet paper dispenser like he'd been using the John. There was no one in the bathroom, but habits were important for the day he didn't hear his boss come in. He flushed, stepped out, washed his hands, then checked himself in the mirror. Nose clean, tie straight, ready for the world. He smiled, made guns of his fists, and shot the mirror. An intentionally cheesy joke meant only for himself. It seemed like most of his jokes were, and then headed for the door. It was Thursday night, and his friends would be waiting. Alex behind the bar in a bleach-worn shirt, the cuffs spotted with old stains. Jen sipping a vodka martini, never a Cosmo, not since Sex and the City. Mitch rocking his stool on 2 legs, trying not to get caught looking sidelong at Jen. The Thursday night crew. Thinking of them made him smile again. Funny how their unlikely foursome had remained friends when all the folks he'd grown up with, the ones who signed yearbooks and made pledges of eternity, had all fallen quietly away. Moved to New York or the suburbs, gotten married and had children. That might be sad if he let it. But why would he? He was young, secretly high, and his friends were waiting. When Mitch climbed on the bus, there was only one seat open, next to a black guy wearing a puffy Looney Tunes jacket and loose jeans, his leg thrown across the open seat. Mitch walked over, stood looking down at the guy. "Excuse me." For a long moment, the man ignored him. Then, drawing the gesture out slow, he swiveled his head to look up at Mitch, his eyes pitched half open, a toothpick stuck to wet lips. Nothing in his expression at all. After a moment of staring, he turned back to the window. He didn't move his leg. Asshole, Mitch thought, and moved back a couple of rows, stood gripping the handbar, swaying with the motion of the bus. His heels felt like someone was cranking wood screws into them, and the steady ache in his back that began around noon had stretched up to his shoulders and neck. Occupational hazard of spending all day standing up, smiling on cue as he opened and closed the heavy glass doors of the Continental Hotel. It's only a couple of minutes, not worth making a thing over. He shifted from the edge of one foot to the edge of the other. The bus was warm, humid with body odor, and he was afraid some of it came from him. Nothing to do about it. Just a day's worth of sun beating down on his jacket and tie, but he wished he could have showered. After all, tonight was the night. He'd made up his mind that he was going to take the plunge with Jen, if the right moment came up at least, when the guys weren't there. And probably best to get in a couple of drinks to unwind from the day. Be loose. Loose was good. Like, there's this new Sakey lounge we could check out, laugh at the yuppies. Or was that too casual? He didn't want her to say it sounded great. why didn't they invite the others?
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.